Looks like Sway had all the answers. 10 years after Kanye sit down with Sway on Sway in the Morning, he finally admitted actually Sway had the answers. This has come after Kanye terminated his deal with Gap and plan to launch his Yeezy line independently, which Sway asked him, why don't he just do that himself? We got no audio?
Yeah, we have a clip.
We got a little clippy clip.
Little snippet.
Mind you, we the best podcast in the world. We've been talking about this last week.
To sell the Yeezy brand directly to consumers, something he argued about with radio host Sway back in 2013.
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
Sway.
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. So Sway, almost 10 years ago, said, man, why don't you do it on your own? Was he right?
You know what? I will go ahead and say Sway had the answer.
No?
Hey, that nigga sounds
actually, but this is wild. This is wild. And I'm gonna just throw this out here. The way Kanye actually like talks to the media and sound, he kind of sound like Michael Jackson. But
DeeJay, I will give you that, cause that's the vibe I be getting from him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
he
like
mean
you know how
that
Michael
shit?
Jackson be saying off the wall shit.
But you can't tell if he mean it or not.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how Kanye like.
Like I'm not mad to that.
He sounds sincere, but it's like, does this nigga really mean that shit?
Yeah, it's kind of like the new age Michael Jackson. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm not mad.
Back to the Sway in the Morning thing.
He was
this
right.
is kind of what I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna lob it up to y'all, and whoever catch it. But this is kind of what I was saying last week. Like, so after he went through the stuff with it, he got with Gap while he was with Adidas, right? Adidas.
Yeah, because that's why he got with the story.
Oh, okay, so I really can't fault him for that, but he should really after all these, he should really terminate all his deals. And this is what I was saying last week. This is Kanye West. Your name. If you believe in yourself that much, like he did, like we all watched the documentary, he really believed in himself. He should have really just took that out on a limb and launched his Yeezy brand on his own. You know what I'm saying? Even with your music, and you know what I'm saying, you got your following, this shit would have blown up. Just like no, I think Beyonce was somebody, right?
For her clothing.
Ivy Park.
No, she's not independent. No, she's with somebody. I don't know the name. Can't remember the name.
Okay, but besides that, he should really just this Yeezy brand should have just really launched on his own. He really could have took this to a whole new level and been smack dab in the middle of all these fashion
it's
whoever
easy to say that, but I feel like at the time he was probably getting advice from people that was in the business and shit, and they was feeding him you should do this, you should do this.
That's probably true.
So he was like, let me take this.
But it's really okay, I'm gonna say this. It's hard to really go independent, I ain't gonna lie. Because even with as you see, Jay-Z just sold half of his 55% of his Ace of Spade company to make money. So either way, you're gonna have to go through that side. Yeah, so right. I mean, but I do feel like Kanye could have broke that mold and been like he said. No, that's Diddy. I'm lying, but he could have been the name. He has that potential to be that name if he just stay out of social media and really focus on
push their brand.
The brand and shit like that. I understand, bro. You know what I'm saying? You want to speak your mind, but if you push your Yeezy brand and just you can be the Walt Disneys and all them type names if you put his mind to it.
I gotta give DeeJay his props because in season 1 we had a debate similar to this when I was explaining why he couldn't sell his Yeezy shoes for retail price, like $80-$100 like they do some Mirachis or some shit. And he was arguing that he could pretty much. And now we see that he was right because even though he didn't have all the resources and the money at the time in 2013, his vision, if he would have trusted his vision, you know, he would have been able to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe later than sooner, but he still wouldn't have been able to do it because he was on the right track. So,
respect.
Gotta give him props.
I mean, that's all I be trying to preach is like, bro, sometimes, I mean, I know it's hard as hell to not use that side, and I don't want to feel like a race thing, but it's hard to hell to not use that side, but if we really put our mind to it, we can be that, you know, we can be just as equal. We can be just as powerful. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kanye, like, sometimes I don't like his personality. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that, but the music and the way he doing his business is phenomenal. And he can be the first person to be that powerful name and be African American. Let's just say that. He could be. Jay-Z trying. Shout out to Jay as well. He's trying to do that, but he still use them folks. Bro, if them two can just put their differences aside and put their names together, or you know, whatever, bro, we can do it.
It's true.
I got a couple things I want to say. I'll be real quick. I do see both sides of the situation. I do still stand on what I was saying last week. It is very easily said than done. You know what I mean? True. It's a whole different side, like you said, that we don't even know about because we never been in there. That business side is literally a whole different world. And it's like, just because you have the funds, it ain't always enough. You know what I mean? Because you got to think about it. Kanye just became a billionaire. You know what I mean? If I'm making a clothing brand and I want people to buy my stuff all around the world, somebody, like I said last week, somebody has to manufacture this. Somebody has to distribute this. Somebody, what storefront is this going to be in? If it's not going to be in any store, it has to be in my own store.
Brick and mortar,
You know what I mean? Now I have to have my own franchise location, conglomerate pretty much going on with that shit. You get what I mean? Like, it's a lot behind that shit on the business side that we know nothing about. And I'm just grazing the surface. You know, and I feel like Kanye being Kanye, to piggytail back off what Brian's saying, I feel like he did have a lot of people in his ear. He did have a lot of people telling him to do this, and that, and I don't feel like they meant him any harm, but they were trying to get him on some, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to be, like, on some Shaq shit, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to be in Walmart, you know what I mean? Like, I can get you there, but like DeeJay said, to get him on the break the mold, can't nobody tell him that. You know what I mean? Especially somebody that ain't this. You know, so it's just like, I feel like I said last week, I feel like Kanye is going to continue to go through this until he does take that chance or that risk to go ahead and branch out and do his own. I feel like he does kind of have the funds now, but even still with the billions he has, he would have to invest everything into what he has to make his shit go. And eventually it would. And truth be told, the way business work, it may not go how he wanted to in his lifetime, but you'll have something to pass on to your kids now. You know what I mean? Your name will be, you know, in stone, which is going to already be musically. But now, fashion-wise, which it probably still will be. But you get what I mean? Furthermore solidified.
And maybe he could do, like, you know, something like intertwining both, you know? Like, you know, something with the music and the business side. You know, maybe he could kind of...
Okay, let me ask y'all this question. So, if we say, Yeezy, y'all, you know what I'm saying, we still got... Whatever Yeezys I put out with Adidas, you know, I'm still gonna get that money. He cut that off and continue Yeezys and you know what I'm saying, still do his thing under his name. Do you feel like a Yeezy brand could take over in the shoe game?
I mean, it's already...
Behind him or behind
him?
If the prices was low,
it's already have. It already
honestly,
so
when we think of Yeezys, we don't think of Adidas.
Exactly.
Well, I do think two things can be true. Now that I didn't think about it from a full, like, producing the product standpoint, like Airrick just pointed out, like you got to have workers and everything. So it might not have been able to work like then.
But that's the key point right there.
Yeah.
Because back to what Sway said, Sway was right, but Kanye really didn't have the means. Exactly. The time wasn't. Kanye was not there. You know what I'm saying?
Two things can be true.
Exactly what Kanye wanted, he didn't have the means to make what he wanted. You know what I mean? And now he does. So now it's just like, okay, take it back to what Sway said. What's stopping me? Why can I not do it the way Sway talking about?
But you know what business model he tried to follow? He tried to follow Jordan. Yeah, Jordan went through Nike, and now his Jordan brand.
That is a fact.
Is on his own.
But he also showed that he didn't need that though. You know what I'm saying? Because soon as Nike stopped, and then he got what time went by, he backdoored and got with Adidas, and then made some more shoes. Like he still came up and reigned. You know what I mean? And then for him going with Gap, like I guarantee you, if he would have just like got with Gap or stayed with Gap and was just like, hey y'all, let's start making shoes for Gap. But niggas would be wearing Gap on their feet. You get what I mean? Real talk.
But the whole Gap deal was the fact that, you know, they wasn't making Yeezy stores and putting out his stuff like they said he wanted they was. They just pretty much, which is his fault, because you know, like
that's a
at
business.
the end of the day, that side is not going to let you. You know what I'm saying? Be over them. They're gonna. I do that. In 2020 and 2059,
I'm pretty sure
something like that. Like
I'm pretty sure when we first seen all this come out, like the Yeezys and whatnot, we was like, I'm sure somebody was like, why he didn't just, you know what I'm saying, put this out by himself. But the reality is,
we don't know that business.
Yeah, you got to get manufacturing, you got to get buildings, and somebody got to make these shoes and mass production.
Side to it, bro. And like I said, it's just like I feel like it goes down to Sway was right, but like Joe said, it was just the wrong time.
He can do it though. Like all you have to do is,
if he would have really,
all you have to do is like
back then. Imagine if he had like
that's another thing too. Like DeeJay was saying though, that it's also hard because the person that Kanye is. Kanye is never gonna be able to just focus on fashion. Yeah. He's never going to be just to focus on music. You know what I mean? He's going to ever have his hand all in different type of things because that's just the type of person that Kanye is.
He could have had a, like a fundraiser at like one of his concerts or something, like an album release.
But also, like I was saying though, like I forgot about this point. Bro, numbers talk and money talk. The investors see how much Yeezy, see how much Gap, they see the numbers. They see when Kanye went to Adidas how much it spiked. They see when Kanye went to Gap how much it spiked. If Kanye was to ever just be like, okay, I'm done with y'all, I'm finna start Yeezy season or whatever he wanted to start, those investors will be lined up
at the door
to try to get with that, because they're gonna be like, oh, it spiked when he went with Adidas. It spiked when it went to Gap. So I'm finna go and take my chance.
But like we said, we agreeing, bro. It's just like now. You know what I mean? At first, he didn't have that resume. Like, yeah, you had a little something with Nike, but at the same time, it's two things. One, that could have been a fluke, or two, now you also only talking about the percentage of like urban. You know what I mean? As popular as Nike was, that only went to extent of urban people, you know what I mean, hip hop wearers, you know, like basketball players type shit, like white people like that, and you know what I'm saying, excuse my language, but it's just like they wasn't wearing Nike Yeezys like that. They wasn't wearing no Red Octobers, they weren't wearing, you know what I'm saying, they wasn't wearing none of that shit. Yeah, and it's like now with Adidas, it did get a little bit more like, okay, because truth be told, the Yeezy Boost like really switched the whole style of shoe now. That whole soft shoe, like it ain't gotta be hard, it ain't gotta be like, he made that whole different lane now, and motherfucker just been nibbling off of it since it came out. You know what I mean?
You know why it was easy for him to make that? Because the only person that was dominating the shoe game was Jordan, and that was a basketball shoe.
It was a basketball shoe, exactly.
So Kanye came out with some casual stuff and was like, you know what I'm saying, I'm not finna make no basketball shoe. You know, Jordan got that, so I'm gonna make some casual stuff for y'all.
Because them first Yeezy Boost that he came with, motherfuckers was clowning. You know what I mean? When he first came out with them,
wearing the hell out of those.
And then everybody just I know started wearing these, started making the low top. You know, the 350s and shit.
I clowned with the foam runners for the longest.
I told
I saw it on this one doofy in the mall. I said, I'm not gonna lie, them hoes is fire.
You saw them doofy?